Well, good afternoon, whisperers, and welcome into our safe zone here on YouTube. You are here on Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, the post show. And I'm so excited to really be here and to be, kind of birthing. Oh, excuse me. We have a little feedback here. My goodness, I'm so sorry. Um, we're so excited to be here this afternoon. My name is Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, educator, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. And by far, I'm always honored to say that I am the host of Whispers in a Bottle. We just wrapped our show at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on our home network at blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. And I have to tell you, this show was powerful. I loved every element of it. I love what we got to talk about, everything, and even being able to pour in to the dynamic discussion of understanding self worth. Ooh, I have to tell you, I think today's discussion really started off on a high note for me. From our pre show to the main event, and now here on our post show. And this show here today, the post show, is very important to me because I really wanted to lean in and have us do different little things and exercises, even as far as it goes with the show as well. So I'm really was thinking about the objective. Like, what is my objective for this post show? And I told you, we're here for 30 minutes. So I'm going to be moving. I'm going to get us in here. We're going to get working. Hope you got your notebooks as well as your proverbial keychains. If this is your first time with me, put a 1 in the chat. If you have been here before, you know to put a 2 in the chat. And because I always love seeing you all here with me, being here with me. And so it's so wonderful. And oh, look, it says Sonya LaRae is in the chat, right? That's my team. So I'm so glad that they're here today. This is nice to have them here. So I'm excited over it. It's good to have you guys. So, literally, my objective today is to enhance your self worth and cultivate really a positive outlook and having that positive mindset through a combination of reflective exercises and positive affirmations. So, what you're going to need is basically a pen and paper, your digital device or whatever, and just a quiet, comfortable space that we can really step into this together today. So that was my mission for this afternoon. So this afternoon, I'm so excited. And oh, it's good to see all of the twos and the ones in here. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad to be here with you as well. And like I said, this discussion is really going to be something. So I want you to be ready. And like I said, I don't want you to be disturbed. I want you to be able to create a space and a place that is going to allow you to have retrospection. And really, I laid into that during our discussion. And during this discussion, even if you want to like dim your music, or when you get ready to do the exercises, if you want to dim the music, if you have a water feature in your house, maybe some of you all are ones that work with a calming music, or even your lighting or candles being lit or whatever. I need you to get your journals out. And I want you to start first and foremost by reflecting on your recent achievements and positive experiences. I want you to write down at least 3 things you are proud of, 3 things that you have accomplished. Now, these do not have to be some huge, grandiose thing. It can be small, it can be a micro win. Lean into that. But I want you to really look at it from that aspect. It can be personal. It could even have been professional, or even maybe in your reflection of your relationships, whatever. I want you to go in and I want you to sit there for a moment and really reflect on those elements. Like reflect on the three achievements and the three positive experiences that you've had. And identify the strengths. I want you to identify at least three of the personal strengths or qualities that that space and that place brought up for you. And it's important for us to do this and to really get things to without turn down the stairs without yes, exactly. So really get into that place and space, because I want you to also realize that when we're doing these introspective works, and I told you in that space of why can be really kind of scary. So it's a skill to sit in reflection. And most people don't even realize that that is actually a skill, because we deal with so much noise. We deal with so much feedback in our life constantly, or we're always looking for feedback from others on the things that we're doing, that it's hard for us to sit in that space and place of quiet. Now, this is the funny thing. I tell you guys, I share a little bit of everything with you. I don't have an issue with that. I actually love being in that space, because when that I'm in that space, I hear things so clear. I hear things in a different kind of manner, in a different way that comes into me. And I told you all, as a young child, I spent a lot of time with myself. I used to sit and I used to lay on the floor. My mom used to call it that I was, moon bathing or roof bathing, because I would lay in it like I was laying out in the sun, but I would be so far away because I would be thinking so deeply on things that I wanted to accomplish. I was thinking on things that I wanted to do, even as a young person in my life. Like, what would I do if I had, you know, if I could go anywhere on the planet? Where would I go? What would I do? And sometimes as people, we have to go back to that sense of just breaking down those thoughts. So in that space, I want you to also break down and to think about three non-superficial qualities that you like about yourself. But on the end of that, I need you to put why. Ooh, that's the thing. I need you to identify three non-superficial qualities that you like about you, and then put on the end of that why. Why do I admire these qualities? What did I find so unique about this quality? What did I feel inside of myself when I said that I really admire this quality about myself? I have to share one quality that I've always admired about myself, is that I'm not one to prejudge people or snap judgment on people. And I always take people at their face value. I let them present themselves to me. And maybe I know what you're about, who you are, before you ever say words to me. But I want to hear the way that you want to present yourself, how you want to be. And I allow that space to be filled with that integral part of it. And I've always liked that. And I've always been a person that has believed that we have to be willing to sit in spaces and places that we admire of ourselves, qualities that we feel are great. I've always had the ability to truly listen to people. And I've always been a listener, even as a young person. I would sit, and even my family will tell you that I wouldn't say a lot, but when I did say something, I said something. And it would be right on the marker because I had sat and I was listening and I was putting things kind of forward in my mind in that way. So it brings up a place in a space when we are working on self that we also have to work on a place in a space of gratitude. Because, see, self worth has that space of gratitude, that place where we are thankful. So it allows us to take a moment to express gratitude for the positive aspects of our life. So, what you will do in your journal is write down things that you are grateful for. And I don't mean just like, oh, I'm grateful to be alive, but the why is behind that. And that's what I'm telling you all. I want you to go deeper into the why, because that is what is necessary for us to do. So if you're just joining us, we came off of our show this afternoon at 3 o'clock on Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. And the show is all about understanding self-worth. And in that discussion, I gave the meaning of the integral sense of being good enough and worthy of love and belonging from others and self. That was the meaning of self-worth today in our discussion. During this discussion, and by the way, my name is Sonya LaRae. I'm the host of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, but I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, educator, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. But during this discussion here, I want us to be more in that reflective, that retrospective place. So today in our discussion, I told you how sometimes we as people need to sit back and hear certain things for ourselves. Sometimes we have to be willing to just kind of like shh for a minute because it's necessary for us to do that. But it's also necessary for us to be able to, oh, hello, welcome in. Necessary for us to do the work on ourselves. And sometimes that is a little scary. Sometimes that requires more than we really want to put forward. But when it comes to building self-worth, a lot of times people don't even realize why it's necessary is because people have already maybe put that, precursor on you like, oh, you can't do this, or, we don't do that. We don't do that. I had a client that told me for years she was told by her family and friends of her family that we don't do this. We don't do this because we. And she said it just was so heavy for her. And she just felt like she could not be herself, the true, authentic person that she needed to do. And she always felt like she was living in this like little box. And so I said to her, so if you did it, what would happen? And she looked at me and she goes, I don't know, we don't do. I said, but if you did it, what would happen? She goes, well, I don't know. I said, well, why don't you see and try and see what it would be like to live beyond that limitation? And I said, I don't mean for you to go out and be crazy and throw all your principles and values to the wind. But what it was something that was so like, we don't do this. We, as this women, we don't do this. And when she took that label off, and that's sometimes what it is, it's a label. So in our minds, in that proverbial place, we have to be willing to take the label off, or take the stigmas off that people have put on. Yo, you're doing too much. You're being too this. You're so dramatic. Take them off and try it. And lo and behold, when she did, she came back and she was like, I've had the most interesting, fabulous 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, why? Because I took the training wheels off and I did what they said that we don't do. And I said, oh, well, She's like, and I told my mother and I told my aunts and everyone what I did. And she said, and they were like, well, well, what did people, she said, she didn't care what people said. She didn't care. She didn't wait for somebody to say something. She didn't wait for somebody's approval. She did it. And she said it was the best feeling and it was the most freed she has ever felt. Sometimes we have to give our permission to ourselves to live out loud, to really see ourselves as the beautiful jewels that we are. Because if you can't see that brilliance and that value, then self-worth is something you'll never capture. Self-worth is something that you will never possess. It's that deep. So I gave you some affirmations and I gave you some prompts during the show, and I wanted to revisit those because I thought they were very powerful. And I tell you all the time, this show is never like the other show and, different things like that. But what it is and why I am doing this is because I felt that those prompts and those questions were necessary. So I took the time to write down the questions and the different things that I wanted to bring into this space for us today. So remember the introspective questions. So I wanted to make sure that I left them over here as well, because I want you all to really vibrate at a higher decimal. And it's important to me. So the introspective questions that I want you to ask, and I hope you got your journals out. Taking the training wheels off is so much fun. It is. It's liberating. It is really I love that. And it is. And it helps you to live out loud. It doesn't allow you to be so. Do you realize that when you take the training wheels off, everybody in here has probably ridden a bicycle. Now, I'm going to honestly tell you, I've never ridden a bike. I've never ridden a bike in my life. But I know for like my friends and different ones like that, they've ridden a bike. And my daughter, she had a tricycle. She had like a little 3-wheel tricycle. And then my mom decided to buy her a scooter. And she was like, oh. And it was like so freeing. Like she was like gone in the wind. She just was like, it was awesome. And she just could just go. And it wasn't like, she says, Mom, it's so different from my trike. It's so different. I love it. I love it. And she was just everywhere, just, even almost killed herself at one time with it and everything. But she got it. She did it. But she felt so free. Imagine how we as people, as adults, if we allowed ourselves to have that kind of joy and excitement, if we allowed ourselves to take off the training wheels, how profound our lives would be, how profound the experience of this journey would become. So sitting in that space wouldn't be so scary. Sitting in that place, in that space of why, and to hear that why. And you got to say it in the right way so it can vibrate at the right decimal. Some people just, why? That doesn't hit it. So whispers, when I said it on the air, when I say it now, you notice that I put air into it. Because why has life? It breathes into us. See, there's certain elements that you learn. There's certain words that carry a different kind of position in the soul. It's a certain way that words even vibrate on your palate when you say it in the way that it's presented. Why has weight to it? Where win is free. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? So, your introspective questions. How much do you like, respect, and value yourself? And you can do it on a scale. You can do it like, 1 not so much, 5 being a great thing. Which words would you use to describe yourself to a stranger? Dynamic, bold, creative, edgy, forward thinking. Notice those words. Did you notice those that I gave? That's how I would describe Sonya. Authentic, loving, determined, visionary. How would you describe yourself to a stranger? Next question. Do you believe you are worthy of others' love, respect, and consideration? Are you worthy of it? Odd word that I chose to put there, isn't it? Think on that one. Because I told you, I choose words for a reason. I do. So I ask you, when you hear these questions, what feelings do they evoke for you? If you know someone that has struggled in this space or place, why not give this discussion as a gift to them? Why not show them where there is a directional map so they can start resetting and reprogramming their beautiful GPS? See, sometimes we need guides to help us on our way. Have you ever gone somewhere like I've traveled extensively, but one place I could tell you that is so confusing that I've been to a couple of times, and I have clients that live there and I go there often, is Washington. I feel like I can go around the corner and I'm lost. But I am not afraid to go ask somebody, excuse me, hello, can you help me? And they're more than willing to help us. More than willing. Oh, no, you're going the wrong way. You should be going up that way, up the hill, not down. Sometimes we have to be willing to do that for others. Sometimes we have to be willing to say, hold on a second. I hear you. I hear you. I see you. I feel that. The state. So we have to be willing to do these things. So I am always excited to come in, and I always feel like I birth dynamic discussions, or I'm birthing discussions because I bring them into a life for us. But this discussion, I have to tell you, I felt like I was breathing into. And sometimes when you breathe into a discussion, it kind of moves in a different way. It gets to fill your lungs. It gets to really kind of warm up what you need to really get all of the body flowing correctly. And that's how powerful this discussion is. So, next week we have another powerful discussion. This season, I'm telling you, I thought last season was pretty dynamic. I thought it was powerful because anytime that we're triumphing over trials and how we're putting that into our space and place is dynamic. Then I thought to myself, well, we got the growth mindset. That was pretty incredible too. This season here, I'm telling you, Whisperers, get ready. Get ready, because 2024 and beyond is about abundance and more. 2024 is about uncovering your eyes, releasing all of the baggage, throwing it off, living in the way that you're supposed to live, accepting yourself for who you are so you can have abundance and more. So don't be afraid. do the necessary work. Some of it is heavy lifting. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of it requires some heavy lifting. But don't forget, you do have someone that is cheering for you, someone that is also here to support you, and someone who is willing to help you to reset the GPS of your minds. So don't forget, if you're not a part of our beautiful newsletter, there is a live link that has been dropped into the comment section. Make sure that you click on that and subscribe. We'd love to have you in our family. You can also connect with us over on Instagram at whispersinabottle_podcast. We have our pre-show that happens at 1 p.m. And honey, that show is good. It's over on the Wisdom app. If you're not on Wisdom, DM us the word wisdom over here on Instagram at whispersinabottle_podcast, because I'm telling you, I set appetizers out that are too delicious. Then I give you the buffet over there at 3 o'clock. And then we come over here to the YouTube channel for our dessert. Oh, you can't tell me that you're nice and full and just feel like, oh, this has been a great show. The post show is just as good. So do me a favor. Tell a couple of people. Tell their people to tell a couple of people. And we all can meet back here again next week and pour into another discussion. I'm so glad to see you all here. I'm so glad to see you guys active in the comments and to just spend your life seconds with me. You all don't even realize how much I value all of you. And if you even listening to the replay, and I see that you come and listen to the replays and all, I appreciate it so much, because a lot of times you can be given discussions, and sometimes I even say, I don't care if I'm talking to myself, I'm going to put it out here because somebody may come across it that truly needed to hear this, because it's that important to me. So listen, guys, I hope you guys have a safe weekend, please, because this weather is nothing to joke around with. Please make sure that you're dressed warm, that you're taking the precautions that you need to. Leave ahead of time so you're not racing to your destination. Slow down. Take extra blankets in your car, because with the cold, your cars can break down as well. And even if you're able to, or if you see someone that is homeless, please give them a blanket. Give them a few dollars that they can get a hot coffee, or buy them a hot coffee that they can stay warm, or notify the police that they can come and get them and take them to a shelter. It's for all of us to really kind of look out for each other and to do certain things. And don't forget to check in on your elderly friends and family, because some of them forget to turn on the heat. Some of them turn on their ovens from back in the day, and they end up, dying, and different things happen. Different things can happen. So with that being said, everyone, my name is Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. But by far, I'm always honored to say I am the host of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, that's live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. And we always have our post show right here on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified each and every time that we go live, and come back again. All right, guys, take care. Have a good weekend.